Courts Ready Cash, always ready when you're ready. Let's go.
Courts Ready Cash, ready when you are.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Solid Waste Manager at the Central Water and Sewage Authority, the CWSA, Mr. Winsbert Quo, joined WEFM's Issues at Hand program on Sunday to discuss the company's state of readiness this hurricane season, which is expected to be above normal. We hear more from Mr. Quo.
In terms of our readiness, over the years, what we have done, we have an emergency management committee that meets pretty regularly to prepare for adverse events. And as you would appreciate, it's not just hurricanes now, right? We have volcano, we have drought, and even COVID. So we meet regularly. We have all the departments represented there. We come together outside of the hurricane season, an average of once every 2 months. And as we get closer to hurricane season, we ramp up our meetings once per month. And of course, whenever there's an adverse event pending, we meet to discuss our state of readiness. We just ensure that we have all the equipment that we need, supplies, the parts, that our systems are in the best shape in terms of you have overhanging trees so that they don't cut, so that they don't affect our pipelines. We have disinfection agents like chlorine on hand.
The CWSA's Solid Waste Manager also said that the company's preparations for the hurricane season had been affected by supply chain shortages brought on by the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict.
One of the things that are now affecting us in terms of our readiness is the supply chain shortage that has been caused by the war in Ukraine. So we have to be very proactive in making sure that we order our supplies early, but as pipes, fittings, parts, or equipment, and store them because of the time that it takes now to get supplies, and also the cost of supplies is going up. So the CWSA have to make some adjustments and be more proactive in making sure that we procure the necessary parts and equipment that we need to get our systems up and running again in the event of an adverse event.
That was the Solid Waste Manager at the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, the CWSA, Mr. Winsbert Quo, speaking on WEFM's Issues at Hand program. Fisherman's Day 2022 was officially launched on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2022, under the theme Revitalization Collective Action for the Ocean, and took place on Monday, 6th June. While this year's activities were not of the scale of which previous events were held because of the observance of COVID-19 protocols, it was noted by Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar, who was present at the festivities, that it was still very important, as he thanked all fisherfolk that participated. We hear more from Minister Caesar.
It was agreed by the Fisherman's Day Committee that for 2022, because of all that's taking place, let us have a scaled-down event. But let us show the country that we are alive, we are doing well, and that we are preparing for 2023. So while some persons were saying, let's not do it this year, we decided by faith we are going to do it. And I really want to thank the fisher folk who participated. Of course, we did not have the 80-something persons like hitherto, but I was notified 17 registered persons and about 34 persons participating. So really it's a definite positive and a plus for all of us, because we are showing the rest of the country that we are in it.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Subota Caesar. Still on the local scene, Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Ms. Michelle Forbes, is urging Vincentians to heighten their preparations for what is expected to be an above-normal hurricane season. Forbes said it is important for people to take action now in terms of preparation and not to wait until there is a storm or hurricane approaching.
Now is a good time because we tend to wait until we hear storms approaching. The person saying, I need a tree over my house cut. Cut the trees, cut the branches, trim your branches now. Because when the storm is upon us, that's not the time to be out there doing that. It's actually dangerous when we start to have the winds, and you don't want to see those limbs flying in very strong winds. Cut the overhanging trees now. And I'm making appeal to your neighbors too. The neighbors, if you know you have breadfruit tree, whatever hanging over your neighbor tree, and they ask you to trim the trees, please trim them because it means that if your tree damage that neighbor house, then you're liable to repair that neighbor house. So let's work together in terms of trimming those trees and around your homes and in the community. That's a big issue.
That was the director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Miss Michelle Forbes. Forbes indicated that because there is still a lot of materials on the slopes and in the gullies from the eruption of the Asufre volcano, including boulders, therefore, communities on the northern side of the island have become even more vulnerable in terms of kinds of hazards, with the likelihood of lahars once there is moderate rainfall. On to news in the region. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown is due to leave Antigua and Barbuda today, the same day that his father Harold A. Brown, 76, will be buried, for the United States, where he will join other Caribbean community CARICOM leaders for the Summit of the Americas. Brown is leading a delegation that includes his wife, Maria, who will also attend the forums for First Ladies and wives attending the summit. The island's ambassador to the United States and the Organization of American States, OAS, Sir Ronald Sanders and Joy D. Davis Lake, Antigua and Barbuda's alternative representative to the OAS. Brown, in an interview on Monday, said that CARICOM held a special caucus on the issue and decided that they should attend due to the United States softening position towards Cuba and Venezuela. The CARICOM grouping on Monday announced its support for Saudi Arabia hosting World Expo 2030, saying that it will expose CARICOM member states to significant technological innovation. Saudi Arabia has launched a global campaign in its bid to host the World 2030 Expo in Riyadh from October 2030 and April 1st, 2031, the official Saudi press agency reported. The announcement was made following the closing ceremony of the kingdom's award-winning pavilion at the Dubai's Expo 2020. Russia, South Korea, Italy, and Ukraine are the other countries that had submitted competing candidatures to organize the World Expo 2030. Russia has since announced its withdrawal from the race. The host country of the World Expo 2030 will be elected by Bureau International Expositions, BIE member states gathered in a General Assembly set to take place in late 2023. On the international scene, Russia's UN ambassador has stormed out of a UN Security Council meeting after the European Council president blamed Russia's invasion of Ukraine for causing a global food crisis. President of the European Council Charles Michel said Russia was using food supplies as a stealth missile against the developing world, forcing people into poverty. The Russian envoy, Vasily Nebenzia, accused Mr. Michel of spreading lies. The war has left food stuck at Ukrainian ports. The Ukraine is a large exporter of coconut oil as well as cereals such as maize and wheat. Russia also exports vast amounts of grains as well as fertilizer. The lack of these exports has caused the price of alternatives to soar. Charles Michel added that he had seen for himself the millions of tons of grain stuck in the Ukrainian port of Odessa because of a naval blockade enforced by Russia. Mr. Michel also accused Russia of stealing grain and preventing crop planting and harvesting in Ukraine because of its military activities there. And finally, in sports, Emma Raducanu has hinted that a dream mixed doubles partnership with Andy Murray could happen soon. British number one Raducanu, 19, says teaming up with former world number one Murray is something both players want. We haven't actually spoken about it, but it's something we feel both want to do, said US Open champion Raducanu, who begins her Wimbledon preparations at the Nottingham Open today. Murray, 36, is a two-time Wimbledon champion and previously played in the mixed doubles at the Grass Court Grand Slam alongside American 23-time major singles winner Serena Williams in 2019. Raducanu played the first WTA match of her career at the Nottingham Open in June last year, and just 3 months later became the first qualifier to win a slam in a remarkable triumph at the US Open. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Get your game on all month long at Course. Stream your favorite game or movies on a new tablet. Relax on a new recliner with your snack fresh out of your brand new fridge. Keep your heart and health in check with a home gym set and Wi-Fi compatible smart products and much more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit. Get your game on. Course, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
St. Vincent, get ready because football is back on Monday, June 6th at 3 p.m. Vinci Heat takes on Nicaragua at the Annisvale Sporting Stadium. And it doesn't stop there. On Friday, June 10th, same time, same place, Vinci Heat takes on Trinidad and Tobago. And somebody say after party. Admission adults 20, children 10, and the party stand 25. Get ready for this TV football action and get this for a limited time with any purchase of Vinci Heat replica. You pay half price for any game. It's the SVGFF Nations League going down at Honorsville. Football and the after party is